Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, what is it? Tuesday. Ooh, I could do that later on. Tuesday afternoon. Afternoon. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Hey, good morning. Penny Luck Myers. Nice to see you. Laura Gibbon Vo. I love it. So, welcome to the TikTok Live Marathon, sponsored by Alcoa. Carla Jane, good morning. Early birdies. Look at you guys. You're joining me. Have a cup of tea, will you? Spreading sunshine. Could you spread some sunshine over here? Actually, I don't even think the sun is coming up yet here. Not even kidding. So here's a fun thing. Since it's just a handful of us right now, and many of you were on multiple of my TikTok lives yesterday. So last night, and I apologize if I don't remember who was there. It was late at night, but last night I was in my robe and my black t-shirt, my pajamas, and I thought it would be funny. Usually I would put on a hoodie in the morning, but I thought it would be funny to show up to this morning's TikTok live wearing the same clothing that I did on last night's TikTok live, which was literally whatever, 7, carry the 1, like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours ago. And it gave me that, and this is a deep cut, but it gave me that like kind of severance feeling. Like I shut my eyes, I open it up, and I'm back on TikTok live. So it's kind of funny. But good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Destination Decluttered in the morning. It's the morning show. How can I help you this morning? This is what I offer. Start slow. Take care of yourself. What can you do in the morning to feel good? Maybe you stretch. Please hydrate. Please drink some water. And I know, trust me, I know that there's water in your coffee, but drink some plain old water too. Get used to drinking some water. Get your body feeling good. That's what I'm doing right now. Oh, okay? Get your body feeling good this morning, and let's get your brain feeling good too. Because when your body and your brain, when your brain and your body, put your mind on your money and your money on your mind, when those are feeling good, that is a wonderful place to start. And if you're not feeling good, what can we do to help you feel better? Because when you try to make a plan for something to do but you're not feeling good, your plan is going to be affected by how you feel, both physically and mentally, and neurologically, and all that kind of electricity that's running through this thing right here. Now, I love this. This is fun. Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, I just put on some teeth whitening strips for while I sort my bathroom cupboard. Why not? Nothing wrong with multitasking. That is something you can do while you're doing something else. And so cool. And just think, your teeth will be whiter by the time I sign off in about 55 minutes. So cool. Great idea. I am going to endeavor to drink more water so that I will be more hydrated by the time we sign off. You know? Boston Sports Girl, good morning. Nice to see you. I bet it's wicked cold up in Boston. It's wicked cold down here too. Kat Roby, will wonders never cease? Look at you up at 5 a.m., my dear. My goodness. So, Kat, the inspiration to us all. What was that? Pavlov's cat with a K, remember? 5 a.m. SBB. 1. Fold and put away laundry. 2. Fix bottom fridge shelf. 3. Clean last fridge shelf. Love it. Love it. Okay. Nikki's asking, where am I going next week? I'm going away. I am leaving the country for a week. So I don't know if TikTok, I am hoping, seriously, I'm hoping TikTok will be around upon my return. But yes, I'm being coy about it because I'm a bit of a private gal sometimes. Not that anybody's going to stalk me, but this, I don't know. Yes, I'm going away. I'm going away and I'm coming back. Right. And yes, no, trust me. Oh, there we go. Kat Roby also says, plan the next scheduled Beth Blinders. Okay, Carla Jane's waving hi to you. Hope you're waving back. Yes, I am actively going to be winding down my use of Meta. I've already completely stopped adding content to it for Destination Decluttered. So you don't have to worry about me. I am making, and here's a lesson both from decluttering. Excuse me. In decluttering and just life in general, I am making decisions about my future on social media, and I am making decisions that align with my values and principles, that feel good to me, that feel like the right choice. Now, does this mean that I may, if I've been on Facebook since whatever, 2011, 2010, even before then, if I'm going to do something different, it's going to be a change, yeah, but it feels like the right thing to do. So I offer that just as an example of when you are decluttering, sometimes you may be faced with this isn't easy, but it feels like the right thing to do to, donate something that I've been hanging around with, I've been hanging on to for years. It may not initially feel wonderful. Sometimes doing nothing can feel good, to be kind of ignoring it. But in the grand scheme of things, you may feel better in the long run doing it. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So Nikki Renee says, I want to find you because I need help. Okay. First thing, Nikki, check mark, a little green check mark box like Kat Roby. Are you on the Destination Decluttered mailing list? Okay? Are you? That's the best place to find me. Seriously? I mean, think about this. You have my email address. It doesn't come from admin at or info at or help at. It comes from Beth. Moi. It comes from me. So you have that literal one-on-one connection. And I don't have a lot of fake, people in between you and me. It's just you and me, babe. Okay? And the other thing too is, numero dos is, if you're on the mailing list, awesome. And then I upload my TikTok live. So even when I am not live, it's Memorex, or in the live, it's Saturday night, there are recordings of these TikTok lives that you can put on and keep you company. A wicked lot of people are saying that helps them. That's why I upload them. In fact, I have all of the TikTok lives that I did yesterday are already up on my YouTube channel. So email, mailing list is the number one place. Number two, that's already public that you can go to when I'm not emailing to let you know if we're going somewhere else, is going to be YouTube. Destination Decluttered at YouTube. So Nikki, I'm not abandoning you. I will help you. Even when I am not on the digital grid, I have uploaded, actually, let me check how many, because it was kind of funny. Somebody else quoted it last night. There we go. YouTube at Destination Decluttered. 547 videos uploaded. You got your choice. It's like a really big Whitman sampler. Okay? Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. Be Kind or Don't Talk to Me says I decluttered 2,000 followers last night. All right, so there's that. Yes, Penny Luckmeyer says Under the Desk says call your representatives. Totally doing that. Yeah, so, all right, Kat Roby, 0. Clear email junk to stay in bed with kitties for 2 more minutes. Nothing wrong with that. Especially this time of the morning, okay? It's early for all of us, even this East Coast early bird, okay? There we go. Kat Roby, and the time I said that is already checked it off, and she's like, all right, getting out of bed. Notice this. Notice that the stuff that's going to help you get the life you want, in the home you want, the decluttered home life you want, are typically going to be movements, verbs, actions. Verb, that's what's happening, right? I mean, I guess technically laying in bed is a verb. Scrolling is a verb, but how about this? If I believe I'm quoting the Beastie Boys when I say get your body moving, when you get your body actually moving in space, and moving in the right direction. This is what can help you steer your body in the right direction of what you want to do. And if you're hanging out with me, it usually has something to do with clutter. Okay, so for those of you who are just meeting me, I will probably repeat this a couple of times because I want to always be welcoming to the new folks, because that's just how I am. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I have been on TikTok for 2.5, 3 years right now, and I have done over 500 TikTok lives that are recorded and on my YouTube channel, and a whole bunch of little shorts of which I am actively uploading to my YouTube channel. That I should have technically been doing that all along. I just didn't, because I didn't think TikTok was going to go away. So on the off chance that TikTok is going away, that's where it is. But right now, we're not going to obey in advance. We're not going to lament. We are here now. This right here is the present. The past is there. The future is there. We are here. And guess what? Right now, we're on TikTok. How cool is that? How cool is that? We still have the TikTok community, our people. So I offer this to you in all sincerity. It cannot it cannot hurt, and it can help to actively start to say, okay, this is decluttering. This is decluttering, and this is maybe, and I'm going to draw some parallels from the modern world. Evacuation prep. I say that because a client of mine who lives in California sent me an evacuation prep PDF, and I printed it out. If you know that TikTok is going down on Sunday, what are you going to take with you? What are the important things here on TikTok now, and how can you take them with you if TikTok goes dark? You have time right now to start pulling out what's important to you. This is the same thing that if you said, if I knew a fire, sadly, if I knew a fire was going to hit my house on Sunday, but I had time between now and Sunday, what would I pull out that's important? So learning what's important to you, both on TikTok and in your home, can help you find a new home for those items, a safe home for those items. Now, I will share from my experience. The first thing I did was I made sure I connected with my people. To me, the number one thing that I get from TikTok is human connection. It is connection with you guys. So that's why I say, hey, if you want to stay connected to me, I want to stay connected with you. You be me for a while and I'll be you. So hop on my mailing list so we can continue to be connected even if TikTok goes away. So that's a first layer of human connection. The second one then, so that's me as a content creator, okay? The second one is the people that I enjoy what they create. So I started scrolling through the people I follow and said, I would miss this person if I couldn't see them anymore. So where are they going to be? So I have already started to follow many people that I follow on TikTok on other platforms, primarily YouTube or Patreon. Those I think are the two that I've hit. Okay? Now, the third thing I will say is, and Louise is saying, how can I pull out the videos? You can Google that. I'm still Googling it myself. You can do it one at a time. There are other things, but I haven't experimented with them, so I'm not going to recommend something that I haven't used. It's just how I roll, but you can Google that. One thing I will offer to you, though, is this. Think about this. Because this is how I'm approaching it. So I've got my first layer is my people. The people that I am connecting. I am the connector that if I go away, I don't get in touch with all y'all. The second layer are the people I follow. But the third one would then be the videos that I collect. Now notice there's different layers. If I somehow run out of time and I am unable to kind of bring along with me my favorites, the things that I've bookmarked, hopefully I can find them again somewhere else. But the connections are going to be a lot more tenuous. Okay? What I'm doing, though, and I think this is great, there is a lesson here, okay? And this is organizing your information and realizing what's important to you. And do you need, this is so parallel to decluttering, do you need that video to be the reminder, or will something else do? Because saving all the videos can take a while and can take up bandwidth and all that. I say this because this is what I'm thinking for me. Your mileage may vary, but I want to offer this as an option that is also aligned with the decluttering methods that I teach you. Is I have this thing and there's a story attached to the thing. Do I need the thing to keep the story? Or if the thing goes away, how can I save the story? Now for me, the way my TikTok, my saved videos have been, the way I have organized those, I can think of 2 categories right off the top of my head of things that I want to take with me. One of them, the number one, and this will not come as any surprise if you've known me for any length of time, is I have a bookmark on so many travel destinations, right? So I have a ton of bookmarks that are travel destinations. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to scroll through those. But instead of saving the videos, I am going to start a spreadsheet. I am just going to write down what those are, because I don't necessarily need the entire video to remind me of it. Sure, it's going to look beautiful. Oh, that's right. That hand luggage guy, hand luggage only. I'm going to write that down because I want to follow him. But do I need the entire video to remind me that I want to go to Greece? No. I need to write down I want to go to Greece. And then what I'm going to notice is how many times I've saved a video from a certain place. Because to me, that repetition means there's something there. So if there's some place that I've repeated and repeated, there's something about that place. Okay? So I just share that with you as a way to grab the most important things to you while you still have time. And who knows? Who knows? TikTok may still be around. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. We're going to do what we can to make sure it does, because this is so important, right? But what I say is the concept is the same. Is deciding, is realizing what's important to you and doing something so that you can keep it with you. That's decluttering, people. It's decluttering, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm psyched to do it. It's kind of like I have the opportunity. Now, the evacuation prep, sometimes we don't have time, but the more you prepare yourself, and here's a fun thing. This is going to also allow me to review my TikToks so that if I do stay here, I can continue to categorize them to make them easier for me to bring with me in the future. I say this to you in your own home. Categories. Name of something you want to bring with you in case there is a fire. There are certain things that are more important to you to bring with you if you're running out because there's a fire versus others. Now, the funny thing is, I have been thinking about this myself. I had this realization because of the fires and because of TikTok, saying to yourself, if I had to leave somewhere really quickly, what would I need to bring with me? And I was thinking of equipment. I was thinking of the physical things that I would need to bring with me. Now, 99.9% of the stuff in my house is kind of sentimental value. I can live my life mostly with my laptop and my phone. So I would grab those things. My husband, on the other hand, has a lot of physical gear because he is a musician. I thought about this the other day and I was like, last night, and I was like, oh my God, if we had to leave, we would have to make room for all of, well, I back up. He would have to decide which are the most important guitars to fit in the car because there will be a fixed amount of space. Which ones would he bring with him and which ones might he have to say goodbye to? So I say this to you. Which are the things that are the most important? And start with that. Now this is cool. To switch gears, Kat Roby, kicking butt, decluttering the fridge. Check mark number 2. Live from the fridge, it's Saturday night. Live from the fridge, it's Tuesday morning. Kat Roby has already fixed the bottom fridge shelf. Yay! Yay! Somebody says download the latest version of TikTok before it disappears from the App Store. If it's already downloaded, you guys, just make sure it's updated. Hey, Lori Hannah. Hun, I sent you a virtual hug last night. Oh, my goodness. Feel free to lay in bed. I was going to say you're not alone, but if you're not alone in bed, well, yeah, I know you have a husband and a dog, and so there's that. You're not alone, hon. You're not alone. Okay? What a different day to wake up to, huh? Now, Michelle says, connect all of your elected officials to save our community. Yeah. Yes, save the memories, the most important ones. And how do you save your memories? I have found that a bullet point in a book can really help. I am also a visual person, so sometimes I take pictures. I will share this with you too. Knowing that I am going to be divesting myself from Meta, I have written down, find out a way to not just download like my Instagram book, my Instagram photos, but also maybe how to create a book from them. So a lot of what we talk about just on a daily basis and help you with getting decluttered is really also showing how that concept is applying in other areas of your life, both with TikTok and the fires. Okay? Now Danielle says, I'm supposed to go into the office and I didn't go last week for 2 days. Today's the day. Danielle is saying, I have office anxiety. Every week, not wanting to go. Okay. Do you want me to help you with that? So this is what I would say is, first of all, when you're feeling that anxiety, let's slow it down. Let's calm it down. Okay, Danielle? All the downs. People, write this down. All the downs. So calming down. Notice when you're feeling like this and you don't want to feel like it, you can do something else. And maybe it's as fun as playing with, well, this is how it feels. What's the opposite? Maybe it's more like like a little flow. Instead of vibrating, you're slowing down the vibration. You're calming down. You're slowing down. You're breathing down. What we're doing is we are noticing that right now, that part of your brain that's lit up, that offers anxiety, is lit up, and it doesn't make you feel good. And when you don't feel good, you might not make the best decisions. You might not do the best things. Notice, when you were thinking a certain thing about the office and feeling this way, you weren't going into the office. But you gotta go into the office. But let's start with making you feel better right now, because when you feel better, you do better, including making just better decisions that'll make you feel better. So, calming down your nervous system. Down regulating your nervous system is a fancy term, and I like that one because it says down in it. Then shaking off that feeling. Down regulating, feeling better, and then choosing. What would I rather feel? So if you're feeling better, I offer to you, Danielle, much like I would anybody I'm doing one-on-one coaching with, is do this. Notice I'm giving you the tools. Grab a piece of paper, grab a notebook, fold a piece of paper in half. Ideally, it's lined paper. It doesn't have to be. I will also offer this. You can open up a Google Doc and you can create a table with 2 columns and multiple rows. I do this sometimes because my brain, I'm a poor typist, so sometimes my typing slows down my brain so I can think about these things. And I say this, you have 2 columns. You have one that's fear and one that's love. Okay? So, Danielle, on the left-hand column, under fear and backseat drivers, I want you to write down, you don't have to share it here, but write down what are the specific things that are causing you to feel anxiety about going to the office. The I don't wannas. I don't wanna cause, and then ask your backseat driver what they're complaining about. I don't want to. It's going to be what? It's going to be this. I don't want to go. What's causing the anxiety? This is a great opportunity for you to realize that your backseat driver actually is helping you out by identifying these things. When you identify them, then we can do something about it. But if you don't know what you are afraid of, we can't turn around and realize it's just a shadow. Okay? So Write those things down, and I'll just give this to you really quick in case I bop around to somebody else's comments. I want you to write down, and everybody here, if you are anxious about anything, I did this on Sunday because I was feeling anxious about so many things. I wrote down everything. I put a thought in each line, and then the power is, what would I rather do? Instead of that, I want this. And what was the opposite? So then, Danielle, I want you to think of what's the opposite. How can I create the opposite here? How can I create opposite land? If I go to the office and I don't like it because I don't like the people, how can I avoid them? I don't like it because it's cold. Can I bring my blanket? I don't like it because my chair's uncomfortable. Can I bring a pillow? I'm just offering some random stuff. But creating the solution is often, you can identify what the solution is by identifying the problem. And then create the solution. Don't just focus on the negative. Use that negative as a springboard over the line. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Let me know if it does. Let me know if it doesn't. But this is what I do. And this is why I will share with you from my own personal perspective. I was feeling anxious and just overwhelmed about the TikTok going away. I was feeling anxious and overwhelmed about the fires in LA and the precariousness of us on the planet. I was feeling overwhelmed by the upcoming regime change. I was feeling overwhelmed by the fact that my health insurance might not be covering some medicines that might cost hundreds of dollars that they used to cover, and the bullshit of our entire society and this and this and this and this. Ah! But that feeling felt sucky. And I was like, when I feel this way, I do not help myself and I don't help others. It feels shitty to feel shitty, and I don't want to feel shitty. But there's something I can do, and I'm like, aha, aha. I have a tool in my toolkit because I teach it all the time, and I've used it for years. Not all my years, only the past 5, but man, does it help me. And it's to not ignore the things I'm afraid of, but turn around and look at them and bring them into the light and see how big they really are. And even if they are big, like the regime change, what can I do that I feel better, that I get out of victim and fear mode and into, as Jen Sincero would say, badass mode? What can I as an individual do? And there are a lot of things you can do as an individual, but when you feel like a victim and you feel afraid, you're not going to do any of them. I did this. I calmed down my nervous system, and boom, I am showing up on TikTok so many times this week. It's kind of comical. Okay? I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right? There we go. Okay, so Danielle, notice, you typed those in there. I heartily recommend folding the paper in half. Write those things down, because when you do that, you have space. You've allowed space for the opposite. It's cold. Bring your blanket. To this day, I worked in an office that was so cold. How cold was it that I would bring a blanket and I would put it on my legs? To this day, it feels comforting to me to have a lap blanket, even in the summer sometimes, because that weight helps me feel comfortable and safe. Maybe I'm Linus that way. But notice, yeah, the air smells weird. I don't know if you can light a candle. Who knows? You can wear a mask, or maybe you can be like, why does it smell so weird in here? Can we do something about this weird smell? Urgh. Sorry, I realized I was yelling and my husband's still asleep. But you get what I mean. I'm away from my pets. But you know what? You're going to snuggle up with them when I get home. Okay? Manu Dave is saying, isn't our emotions behind our decluttering? Yeah. Our emotions are behind everything, silly. Come on, Charlie Brown. My God, I was like half Pee-wee and half Lucy Van Pelt right there. Welcome to me. Half Pee-wee Herman, half Lucy Van Pelt. My antidote to anxiety is action. Yes. And here's a wonderful thing. And I love the AAAs, the AAA, the antidote to anxiety is action. That may help you remember that. The interesting thing to me is And this is where, pretend I'm like the folded columns right here, the line in the paper, we folded the paper in half. On the one hand, we've got anxiety. Anxiety is caused by fear. Anxiety is caused by fear. And when we are in fear, we tend to freeze. We tend to not take action. So we need to unfreeze ourselves, calm down your nervous system, realize you can move. Look at me, I'm not frozen. This is not freeze tag. And then when you're feeling better, that's when, yes, you are 100% right, Laura, is getting into action. Even moving your body, get your body moving. Getting your body involved and dissipating that just anxiety that's going like this. As the Taylor Swift once said, and I love that song, and she's so awesome, shake it off. I stay out too late. Shake it off. Do the twist. Get it out of your system. Do the wiggles. Have some fun with it. Do I not look like a Muppet? Come on, have some fun. Yeah, time for the support. Stay for the show. I'm here all week, friends. All right. So I'm backing up to see if I'm, trying to help the people I can. Sometimes TikTok does not allow me to do this, but just in case we haven't met before, because it's bottom of the hour here at TikTok, Destination Decluttered. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching here on TikTok and on the internet, Destination Decluttered. Because I love to travel, that's why I will not be around next week. I love a road trip because I've taken them for decades and I've written about them for a wicked long time. And your destination, when you're hanging out with me, is going to be decluttered. You can find me on my website. If TikTok goes down, go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. Now, .com shows that I grew up in the Massachusetts. And destinationdecluttered.com. And also sign up for my mailing list if you choose to do so. The mailing list people really get the good stuff, and it's free and it's low key. So I heartily recommend you do that, but you do you. I don't push. If you want to hang out with me, you'll hang out with me. I'm not going to be like me. I get plenty of people who are looking forward to hanging out with me. And it's cool because I like hanging out with people who like hanging out with me. What can I say? Yeah. Now, A says feeling like a victim can help people feel part of something larger. Yeah, a big pile of victims. We don't want that. We want them to feel connected and take action against what is being victimized them. Victimizing can help you feel stuck. Yeah. Okay. It's not that we can't take action. It's that the mind says procrastinate. Yeah. And I say, oh yeah, why? Why should I procrastinate? I have a conversation with my mind all the time. I am a thinker. I am full of thought. I am thoughtful. The conversation in my mind is between the front seat and the back seat of the car. I'm the driver, but my co-pilot and my backseat driver are chatting back and forth all the time. Okay? Good morning, Erin. Look, here's my habit. I raise my mug to you, my dear. Okay? How do you keep picking yourself up from being kind of stuck? Every damn day. Every damn day. You calm down your nervous system, and then you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Just like Fred Astaire. You get knocked down, you get back up again, ain't never gonna bring me down. Come on. You can do it. And if you can't get up, you ask for help. Hey, can you help me get up here? I've fallen and I can't get up. But you can get up with help. I am the help. Okay? And you have help in your words too. You have help in your real world too. Okay? This is the other thing that I think is important to remember, and I was talking to a client about this morning. One of the core human things that causes us fear and anxiety is as primal as that fear of abandonment. All alone, all alone. The fear of not being surrounded by people. Like people, your tribe, your pack. Because if you are truly alone, and especially as a baby, you may not survive. You may die if you are abandoned. Now, many of us, myself included, have rich relationships and quality, and we have community right here, the internet. I'm here outside of Philly. I know Erin's in upstate New York. Carla's down in Alabama. Boston Sports Girl, I'm assuming, is in the Boston area. All of us from all over the world, we're able to connect because of the internet. However, please notice that kind of evacuation emergency prep. What if the internet goes down? Do you know your neighbors? Do you know the people you are physically surrounded by? Because if the internet goes down, and I'm not being like doomsday prepper or whatever, but I'm saying that this is an important community, but also knowing your neighbors and your real life people in the world is really an important part of surviving. So this is also where you can help declutter, because you ask people, get to know the people in your neighborhood. Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, oh, who are the people in your neighborhood? They're the people that you meet when you're walking down the street. They're the people that you meet each day. Right? Come on. We all watched Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, right? Now, here we go. I love it. Erin is saying hi to Carla, and Cat Mama is saying to Cat Roby, snuggling with the kitties is the best. Yeah, Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Even that Edison guy who did the light bulb, he allegedly failed a lot, but no, he was just iterating until he got to the light bulb. I love it. Jessica says, good morning. I finally moved some piles of papers and other annoyances from the table. I love it. That is a wonderful start. Now, Erin says, last night's live really helped me push through when I so wanted to go to bed. Now, I hope if you were truly tired, you could have said to yourself, if you were stone cold tired, that you could have said, this will wait until the morning, and then you could have gotten up and do those things. But let me ask you, Erin, and let me see, because you might have chimed in here. All right? Erin, you pushed through last night, then you went to bed, now you're up again now. The stuff that you pushed through, how does it feel to wake up and see the results of your efforts and your actions? Okay? All right, notice that. How does that feel? All right? Laura Gibbon Voorhees, we better watch it. We're going to have to take our show on the road because we're singing the same songs all the time. You know why? Many of us share the Gen X mind. That's one of the connections I love. That I have been able to be on TikTok, my authentic, goofy, irreverent Gen X pop culture latchkey self. And I can connect with my people. I can say, it's the survival game. Or where I can't see, here diagonally. Whatever it is, somebody's like, I know what you're talking about. That, my dear, is a connection. And when you feel connected, that means you're not alone. Because you've gotten yourself connected. Okay? So, love it. Somebody said they were in North Dakota. Okay, A Wild is in North Dakota. See, you're now connected with people in PA, in Alabama, in Massachusetts, and all over the world. Okay? And yay, Boston Sports Girl was singing the same thing. I love it. I love it. Okay, KR has a perspective. He's saying, I get rid of stuff. Yay! But it doesn't seem like anything is becoming less cluttered. Oh, my dear, but it is. Think of it in numbers. You had 10,000 items in your house. Even if you will only have now 9,995, you have, in fact, become less cluttered. Now, it may not be initially visibly apparent, much like weight loss. When you first do it, you're like, this may not be working. This is not working. Do not give up on anything just because you don't see immediate results. This is not HGTV. This is not the magic bullet. This is low and slow and sustainable and maintainable. Okay? So K, or Kai, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. This is what I do. This is what I recommend to all y'all. It's so funny. I'll be looking at the person, then I pretend I'm like, okay, everybody. Before you declutter an area, take a picture of it. take a picture, it'll last longer. It will last longer because the picture stays. It does not change. Then, no matter what decluttering you do, if you do some decluttering, if you don't just move things from point A to point B, but if you truly declutter, when you are done with however long you declutter, even 5 or 10 minutes, you take another picture, that picture is different from the first one. It is evidence. It is evidence admissible in court that you have decluttered. Now notice, though, we were talking about the backseat driver. The backseat driver is always going to minimize your accomplishments. It doesn't seem like you've done anything. It doesn't seem like this is working. Why don't you just give up and hang out and not do anything? No, don't give in to that. Keep on keeping on. Okay? There we go. All right, Sherry Lynn. Sorry. I heard something weird. I'll have to figure out what it is. Sherry Lynn, you're in PA near Lancaster. Love it. Lancaster County. Love it. ADHD. We got the ADHDers in the house. Welcome, welcome. And hey, here, I'm going to get back to Erin because I want to circle this. I want to put asterisks around it. I want to use a highlighter. Erin did some decluttering last night, even though she was kind of tired. She pushed through with encouragement because she hung out with us on a TikTok live and is like, I might as well just get up and do some stuff. She woke up this morning, feels so great. Today me appreciated yesterday me. Notice that good feeling. Notice that feeling. How can you get that feeling again? Trying to get the feeling again. Sorry, Barry Manilow. I know that was a bad thing. Okay? So, yes, notice what you do. You are taking care of business. Your past you was taking care of today you. Your today you, what can your today you do to take care of future you? You know? Yes, that sound. Look behind you. I love it. It's coming from inside the house. Funny thing, German maid said, I heard it too. Yeah. We'll figure out what it is. I'm not afraid. There we go. Dizzle's saying, good morning. Love the extra guidance and your dedication to us. Of course. You guys, I take care of my people. That is probably why from a very early, because I was the oldest of, I was an oldest parentified child, okay? Latchkey kid, all that. I have always ended up, whether I wanted to or not, but then I changed that, been put in a position of responsibility, whether I wanted to or not. Then when I realized I didn't want it, I realized I could change that. That felt very powerful. And now I lead when I choose to. And I choose you. I know it's not Valentine's Day yet, but I choose to spend my time with you. I chose on Sunday to create a TikTok live schedule for this week that is more than I usually would show up in a month. I'm showing up in a week because I'm preparing for if TikTok goes bye-bye, I want to make sure I gave myself every opportunity to hang out with you cool people. Okay? And I love it. Somebody said about TikTok live being, or here we are now out here. There we go. Oh, I'm backing up. Yes, Cat Roby, DD is a love connection. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Look at me. I'm doing my own Chuck Woolery. All right. There we go. Cat Mama says, fell asleep before 9 p.m. live, then late this morning. No big deal. There's no late here. Gotta check my written list. Okay, Cat Mama, if you're on the mailing list, and anybody here on the mailing list, heads up. There is one TikTok live tomorrow, Wednesday, that I initially put down as a certain day. It's the early afternoon one. I needed to change the time for that because I realized, and this is comical to me, that I had neglected to factor in that I have a haircut. Now, the funny thing is, not showing off, but I think my hair looks so good right now. So it's foolish for me to even have the haircut, but it's so hard to get into his schedule that I may just have him do just a tiny little smidge, but I wanted to keep that. So if you wrote down the schedule, or if you screenshotted it or whatever, please check the link again. I have updated the schedule on the mailing list secret page. You know what I'm talking about. So just double check that we're aligned for that one, so you're not disappointed when you thought I was showing up at one time, but I had to change it. I like to give you advance notice, and I rarely do that, but you guys know, getting a haircut, it's like, to me, finding somebody who gives you a good haircut and finding somebody you trust that works on your car or your home, when you have those relationships, you keep those relationships. Now, notice, Erin says, I was physically tired at 9, I wasn't physically tired at 9 p.m., just mentally and emotionally tired, but listened while I worked, and it helped. Now, here's a wonderful thing I will share with you. Mental and emotional tiredness is a real thing. But notice how physical tiredness is different from mental and emotional. And notice that decluttering doesn't always have to have a mental or emotional component. This is where I talk about the 3 layers of clutter: your surface layer, your stored layer, and your sentimental layer. Now, at the end of the day, I too, my dear, am running on empty as it work. I'm not totally empty, but I'm getting there mentally, and emotionally. However, my body still can move. My body can just go on autopilot and put some dishes in the sink, or from the sink into the dishwasher, and I can fold up some stuff, and I can tidy. I can, what I like to call, putter and declutter. I can mindlessly putter around and make things look better for me. So notice the distinction. If you are physically not tired but your brain is spent, then don't involve your brain in what you're doing. There's plenty you can do declutter-wise, which is called basically maintaining, that will get your house looking and feeling and functioning better, and you don't have to engage your brain. Okay? So just notice that. Notice you just learned that lesson. Practice that. I love it. We got some Southern gals here. We got some good people. Take up before and after pictures. Love it. Good idea. Here we go. What else do we have? There we go. It zooped. You guys, it zooped. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit here. Okay, good stuff. I'm catching up. All right. Sherry Lynn says, I started on my bedroom last after coming across your page yesterday. Still took me a few hours. Yeah, it will. These things take time. I know that I'm the most inept that ever slept. That's my lame Smith / Morrissey. Things will take time. But time spent decluttering is an investment. You spend it, but what you're really doing is investing time, because you will reap the benefits. You will get, it will pay off. Notice how Erin spent some time last night decluttering. Today, she is reaping the benefits. Sherry Lynn, you invested a few hours in your bedroom. Now you have a less cluttered bedroom. And the more you do this, the less amount of this is the great thing. There's going to be an initial expenditure. There's going to be an initial investment of time where you haven't invested time before. So you are knocking down the piled up, the delayed, the deferred clutter of decades, probably, possibly. So yes, that's going to take time. But when you get down to where it's manageable, it's going to be like maintenance. It's like kind of, I use the weight loss, because if you haven't tried to lose weight for a while, you have a lot of weight to maybe lose. It's piled up. You start doing something you may not notice because it's only 10% off the top. You may not notice, but if you keep on going and keep on going, you start to notice it. My pants are a little bit looser. Yay! Then, once you get down to your kind of just right weight or amount of clutter in your home, where you don't have much clutter and you like the quantity and quality of what you have and it's easy to maintain, that's what you do. You maintain. You do a little bit at a time. You create new habits so that the clutter doesn't pile up again like it had done. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah. And Kay says, it does look really good right now. I was noticing that. Yes, and Kat, me too. Hair always looks good before the appointment. Yeah, gotta go. Have a great day. That's okay. I'm going to be here. Ooh, I love this. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is check marking. I love myself a list. Cross it off. Bathroom cupboard, no longer a booby trap. I love that. Yeah. Bedroom desk tamed and teeth whiter. Yeah, because it's 7:51 a.m. and about 50 or so minutes ago, Laura showed up and said I was going to do something. I'm going to take action. She dismantled, or whatever. I was trying to think of like when you disengage a trap or whatever, like a bomb. She diffused the bathroom cupboard and she put on a teeth whiter. Anything you invest your time in, if you do it with intention, you will reap the benefits. Okay, so Haley is saying, do you ever consider us doing a live showing us how you declutter? Yeah, I do it a lot. Here it is. What is this item? Do I want it or not? Yes, I want it. If I want it, where does it go? I'm putting it somewhere where I know it's going to be when I go to look for it. I put it somewhere where it's easy for me to get when I use it often, and then the stuff that I don't use as often, I put further away. What is this item? Do I want it? No. Okay, what's the easiest way of me getting this out of my house? Now notice, that is totally an oversimplification. I totally get that. Yeah, this is exactly what I do. Okay, do I want this thing? There's a lot that goes into that. Well, it tells me a story. Do I want to keep the story? Is it getting in the way? Does it tell me a good story or a bad story? How does this object make me feel? If it makes me feel crappy, out it goes. You know? So yeah. And damn it, Donna, don't be sorry you slept in. Trust me, you guys, I'll be honest with you, and this is neat. I turned around, and the sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. There might be clouds. I gotta look up out the window. You know what I mean. Anytime I can sing a song, I'll sing a song. Do 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 do. There we go. Such a great group, right? Okay. Now, so starting is the hardest part. There is. It's so funny. I have a Blondie song going through my head. I can't quite figure it out, but I want to make the most of our time together. Okay. What I want to offer to you is get used to having conversations with yourself and listening for the answer. Get used to noticing yourself. How does that object make you feel? If it makes you feel good, if it lights up your heart, if it lights up your life, maybe you want to keep it. If it doesn't make you feel so good, maybe you want to give it away. But notice, it starts with paying attention to yourself. And yourself is uniquely wired. You aren't wired like me, and each one of us is a snowflake in that way. In the fact that we are all, we have similarities, right? We're talking about being Gen X and latchkey kids and having the same songs and struggling with clutter. There are a lot of similarities, but each one of us has our own unique story about what our stuff is, about what decluttering means, how decluttering feels. Honor your story, but also notice where the stories you tell yourself are stopping you from doing things and where you can change the story to start doing something you want to do. Okay? Noticing, stopping, quieting down to then be able to choose something different if you choose to. Okay? Now, I love this. German Maid is asking for accountability, and this is one of the great things about coaching and having community, is you can say, hey, help me with this. Hold me accountable. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to read it. And everybody, we are all going to cheer on German Maid 95. So she says, before the next live, I am going to research new pet foods. I've been putting it off, but what's going to help me? Hold me accountable. So we are going to hold you accountable. I am looking up when my next TikTok live is, and I'm writing down German Maid 95 so I can check in with you. You know when the next TikTok live is, so you've given yourself a boundary of time in which to do this. Okay? So, hope that helps. I will check in with you, and so when we're all cheering you on, you can do that. Haley's saying, my ADHD, I tend to leave it somewhere thinking I'll come back to it, and I forget totally. Yes, Haley, my dear, you have a habit that's not working for you. You can change your habits. You have a habit of thinking I'll come back to it. But you don't. So don't, when your habit is thinking that, but it doesn't work out, you have a process that's not giving you the result you want. Notice when you say, oh, I'll get to it later, and you don't get to it later, then stop thinking like that. Catch yourself. Oh, I'll get to it later. That hasn't worked out before. Why am I not dealing with it right now? Now, I say this as an opportunity. There can be legit reasons why you are not dealing with it right then. However, if only using your brain to remember things is gonna give you heartbreak. The heartbreak is psoriasis. Your brain is doing so much. This is the most overwhelming part of human society we have ever been in. Your brain can't do everything, so help it out. It doesn't remember everything. And frankly, my MO is your brain is a creative machine. Don't make it be an admin as well. Don't let it be the art department and the secretary at the same time. Both of those are important roles. So I say to yourself, if you can't do it right now, what can you do to help you remember to do it later? Notice what I did. I said, I'm going to write this down at a certain time. So I remember at that time to check in with German Maid. Okay? So do something different. If what you're doing isn't working, let's slow down the tape. Let's see where your existing process, what do you call that? Like, I always think conveyor belt, but like, Model T, Ford, a conveyor belt thing. Your process is not pooping out the result you want at the end. You are doing something, but you're not getting what you want. So let's change the machine. Assembly line. That's what I was thinking of. Your factory, your internal factory is not coming out with the product that you want. So do something different. There we go. Okay, yeah. Mars Espy, do I want it? Yes or no? Seems easy. It's not, though. It's not easy, but it's worth saying, listening to yourself. When the answer is not an easy yes or no, get into it. Why am I holding on to this? And then write it down. Is holding on to this giving me the life I want, or is it keeping me in the life that I don't want? There are so many questions you can ask yourself. I just offer, ask yourself the questions, listen for your answers, and write down the answers so you can see on paper what's going on up here in your thinker. Okay? So, now I gotta go because I have coaching and consultations. I want to leave you with this. On the chance, the very real possible chance that TikTok goes quiet and gone on the 19th. If you want to continue to hang out with me past the 19th, the email mailing list from my website is the number one place to start. After I sign off right now, go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, add yourself to the mailing list, and I will take care of you. And many of you know I'm going to do another TikTok live in a few hours.